guess the final point we can talk about is one, what the Tigers would need to do to have a good season and kind of our expectations. So I guess I'll ask you one question. What are your expectations for the season?
My expectations are probably half of yours. Um,
I
I
know. I
expect,
dream.
yeah, you dream a lot. I expect the Tigers to be about 15 to 20 games under 500. That's a 10
Okay.
game upgrade from last year. Um, there's just
Okay.
too many injuries. You can bring up all these pieces they've brought in,
Mhm.
but at the end of the day, they did lose Tariq Skubal, which they had last year, and
Yep.
they lost Casey Mize, who they had last year. And yeah, they brought back a guy like Turnbull, but and as good as
Mhm.
Turnbull is, like, I don't know. It's just you're coming off Tommy John. I don't think you're going to be as good as what you were before you left. So
Yeah,
like,
definitely, definitely.
I still think it's a downgrade from what we had in both Casey Mize healthy or Tariq Skubal healthy.
Hmm.
You lost some of your bullpen, so that's gonna be a struggle. Batting, I think will be better, but I don't think we're gonna be like world class. We might be like, instead of like
Hmm.
30th, we'll be like 23rd maybe if we're lucky. So
30, and then when we say 30th, we mean like 30th. Like it wasn't
yeah,
even
I
close.
know. Yeah, I know. That's why 23rd is like a compliment.
That is a compliment. It really is.
So what
Um,
are what are yours?
I would say I'd agree, honestly. Like realistic expectations here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I can see them being a little bit better than last year. I think the hitting will be better. I still think there are holes in the team in general, voids that they're going to have to fill. But it really all depends. Like I think their floor is about what we saw last year, maybe better offensively, but I think, that's their floor. I think ceiling wise, they might be able to compete, dare I say, end of August. And when I say compete, I mean like 5 games the wild card. I mean, it really depends. Like,
Interesting.
like if Torkelson's really good, Green's really good.
How about by July? Because I remember I want to say we were like
It's not like we were
7 games out of the wild card by my June Keys trip.
Mhm.
So,
No,
so let's just say we make it to July this time.
I'd like to do that. Yes, I'm trying to remember when we went on that one stretch where we won like 7 in a row, and it felt
I
good. And you're like, okay, we turned a
I
corner. I think it
think
was
that was
after
in
all the charges.
June. I think that was in June because that's when I remember being in the Keys and like actually actively looking at the wild card standings.
Remember
I
we
think it
were on
was
a,
in June.
yeah, it might have been. I don't. That's neither here
Because
nor
then
there.
shortly after that, I completely stopped watching baseball until I went up north to Ohio, where my family was kind of watching quite a bit of it,
Hmm.
just for like whatever reason. And
Yeah.
by then our season was well over.
No, I get what you're saying. I guess, yeah, I would be happy if they were. I wouldn't even say July. I'd like them to be a little bit more competitive into August. I think that's a good season for me. But
Hey,
that's
for all you Detroit fans, how about they're just able to occupy us until the Lions start playing football? How about
that'd be
that?
great. I mean, honestly,
Till
just get us through. Get us through.
till we can start going to training camp.
Yeah. And then I guess my final point that I wanted to make was uh what would like the Tigers have to do to potentially even be good? And by good, I mean potentially lock up a wild card spot. No,
Um,
that's a pipe dream. That's a
I
pipe dream.
know, I know, I know. Um,
But
clearly it's a pipe dream. It doesn't take a genius to know that.
yeah.
Um, so you look at our starting pitcher, Spencer Turnbull needs to be that dude he was before Tommy John. Matthew
Okay.
Boyd has to be the Tiger that we that we once knew
Yeah.
before you left.
Uh-huh.
Matt Manning needs to continue his
He needs to
development.
be good, yes, for sure.
He needs to continue getting better. You want to see Tariq Skubal come fine midway through the season
Yeah, it'd be like a trade pickup.
and join the team.
Hmm.
Eduardo, he needs to be the guy we signed him to be. He was. I did not like what I saw from him
I
last
do
year.
I do remember the walk.
Jaron claims that he got better in the second half of the season, which I don't remember. I just remember him kind of being, just leaving the team after freaking not being able to throw a strike. But
I do remember, like, I forgot all about that beginning of the
yeah,
season where he was
he
like, "Ball, ball, ball." I do
it
remember
was
that
like
now.
at least 3 or 4 games in a row. He couldn't
Yeah.
throw a strike.
No, you're right. I do remember that.
And so that's what I want to see from the starters. I want to see the bullpen like just it doesn't have to be like top 5 like it was last year for a good
Mhm.
part of the season, but
Yeah.
like it needs to be able to like not be blowing games. And then as far as hitting wise, we know Haas has power. This is like gonna be his first year like solely having the job, I think. I don't think Jake Rogers will get in there, but like for the most part, it's gonna be Eric Haas every day.
Mhm.
So I want to see, his power and his development continue to increase. And I always think it's so weird because I feel like he's probably like, how old is he? I feel like he's older.
He's a dad. That's all I know. You don't really know his age.
1992 to 2023, so he's like 31, something
Really?
like that. Which is
That
crazy because he looks young, and in football that's old, but in baseball that's like whatever.
I guess he got, like, 5 kids, but that makes
Yeah,
sense,
he
I
does
guess.
have a lot of kids. But so it sounds weird saying, continue to develop, but like it's like his first year like starting by himself. So like be the player I know he can be. Hit with
Yeah.
power. And then
Yes.
a lot of the other key parts, I mean, I'm not going to get too much more into it, but like
Mhm.
Jonathan Scope needs to not suck complete ass. Javier Baez needs to not swing at every slider that goes outside of the zone.
Yeah. That's not
um,
gonna happen.
Gary Carpenter, I think, can be a goon. So his development continue. Riley Green's development continue. Austin Meadows be that 30 homer guy we brought him here to be, and just Spencer
Mhm.
Torkelson continue to develop. These guys just have to continue to develop. There's like nothing really to it. Be the players that we know they can eventually be, and hopefully they can be those players, this year. And then, worst case scenario, we suck ass again. Hopefully McGee has just a great year and we send him off
Yeah.
right. So,
Didn't talk
uh,
about Mickey, but yeah.
what you think?
I think you pretty much nailed it. If they're gonna have a good season, everybody has to have pretty good seasons, let's be honest. Like, everybody's gotta take a step forward, like a giant
Yeah.
step forward to what they were last year. Baez needs to not suck. Scope needs to not suck.
The only player who could really get away with being the same player they were last year, outside of Mickey, because he's just like a DH, so it's like whatever.
Yeah.
And he hit like for average, so um, would probably be Riley Green.
Mhm.
And I think he's gonna take a step forward either way. So I'm
I
not
hope
really
so.
concerned about that. Like I have concerns about Torkelson taking a step, like whether he will or not. But like I
Mhm.
have no concern about Riley Green taking the next step. I think he's that dude.
Yeah, I agree. I think, both of those guys need to get it going. I think, like you said, Green, I'm not really worried about Torque. It's very important for him. The new guys, see how they step into their roles. If they're as good as they were in spring, they'll do well. But it's honestly just if everybody's taking that step forward, like you said, developing. I like them to be a decent team and not like eye gouging. Like as long as I can watch them and not want to absolutely die, uh, I'll be all right with it.
I can come home from work during the summer and like
It's like,
actually
oh, the
want to turn
Tigers
the
won.
game on.
Exactly. Not be like, oh, here we go. Got to watch 9 innings of 1 run, two to
Maybe they
one
won't
final.
lose all my money this summer.
Oh yeah, for real. You should have just
No,
bet the under, dude. Just should have bet the under in every Tigers game last
I
year,
don't
and you
know.
would
This year I might have to bet the over on every game based on what the pitching was in spring
have no
training.
kid. Now we're gonna hit the ball, and our pitching is gonna be absolute dog shit. You just watch.
But yeah, I'm excited for the season. It's gonna be interesting. Ups and downs, probably more downs than ups, but we can all
Sure.
dream that there'll be a lot of ups. And the
Put your voice
most
on your success.
important thing is I think we're heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
So it makes me excited for the future. And yeah, but that being said, guys, thank you guys for tuning into the podcast. If you guys listen to this whole thing, if not, I hope you guys go check out the YouTube, please. If you're watching this video right now on YouTube, go check out. Oh, I guess you're already on our YouTube, but tell a friend about our YouTube,
Tell a
okay?
friend about our YouTube. Tell a friend about our YouTube,
Tell
podcast, everything.
and our socials. You guys know our socials, Detroit Lions Squad. We're also on Twitter. But we'll put that stuff in the YouTube video, so
Mhm.
y'all can just check the description. But that being said, thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see you guys later.